It's Monday, March 11th, 2024. Let's talk about the news. From the New York Times, TikTok prompts users to call Congress to fight possible ban. A bill introduced by U.S. lawmakers last week would require that the Chinese owner of TikTok, a company called ByteDance, sell TikTok or be practically banned in the United States. This led to a huge effort by TikTok to rally its users against the bill, and that seems to have, in some cases, led to the opposite intended effect. This is not the U.S. Congress's first attempt to address the control a Chinese company has over a popular U.S. platform, and it's not the first time they've pushed for regulations focused on TikTok specifically. But this time seems different because of the huge amount of bipartisan support for this bill. Following its announcement, TikTok prompted its users to call their representatives, connecting them directly to their offices, and that flooded congressional phone lines to the point that no other calls could get through, which enraged some politicians who said they were neutral on the bill, but decided to vote in its favor because of this aggressive move by ByteDance. President Biden has said he would sign the bill if it's passed by Congress, and if signed into law, it would require ByteDance divest itself of TikTok within about half a year, and would give the president the limited ability to prohibit access to an app owned by a foreign entity in the United States. From The Guardian, microplastics found in every human placenta tested in study. A new study analyzing tissue samples from 62 placentas found microplastics in all the samples. This parallels other recent studies that found microplastics in human blood and breast milk, and another that found them in all the human arteries that were tested for the presence of these particles. Microplastics are very small pieces of the plastic we use in pretty much everything, from bags to water bottles to the cases of our computers and phones. These bits shed during the production and use of these goods, but also after they're discarded, as they are eroded by natural forces. Researchers are still trying to figure out what their ubiquity throughout nature and our bodies means in terms of impacts, but some studies have already shown that they can damage human cells, cause inflammation, and even clog our arteries, increasing the likelihood of cardiovascular events like heart attacks and strokes. And from Axios, Congress avoids shutdown with tougher battle ahead. U.S. lawmakers have passed a collection of funding bills that will allocate around $460 billion to various aspects of the government, narrowly avoiding a government shutdown. These lawmakers will need to pull this off again before March 22nd, when another round of funding bills will be necessary to avert yet another shutdown. This last batch passed the Senate 75-22 and will provide funding for agricultural, housing, transportation, and energy agencies. But the next batch will provide funding for more contentious agencies like the Pentagon and Homeland Security, so it's expected to be an even trickier round of negotiations. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and/or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com. And you can support this and other related projects, like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts, at understandery.com.